What has happened to Lu Xiaojun? Have you seen the videos?
Yeah, he looks like a Abercrombie mannequin.
Right.
He's
Yeah,
nothing.
it's extremely bizarre.
I think he probably just wasn't training, is my guess. You know,
Yes.
maybe maybe he
Yeah.
just took some time off. I mean, he was not a big guy. I think people think he was like giant. So I actually have his jacket from the World Championships several few years ago, and
Hmm.
Joanne, my wife, who's 55 kilos, can put the jacket on and it fits her fine. Like it doesn't look baggy or big on her. So like
Right.
he's just not a giant guy, and like what he probably lost about 8 kilos maybe. It was like a 73 now. Like
He weighs 74 right now. Yeah.
so like that's a lot of weight. It's not going to look like he's going to lose some of those muscles. I'm sure he'll get bigger again and look the part again. And
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like and for those who don't know, just to fill you all in, Lu Xiaojun hasn't trained since Tokyo, so it's been a year and I don't know 3 weeks or something like that, and he's just turned back up to training, and he looks, I would say, shockingly skinny.
yeah,
Like it's not, if I basically have in the past taken a year off training, and the difference between me after a year and me, in training, like you can tell, but it's not a lot. Like I don't turn into like Josh or someone like that, some super skinny ectomorph. You know what I mean? Whereas Lu Xiaojun, honestly, and I'm not saying this, this is just true. He looks like he's never trained.
yeah.
I think that's very fair to say. He could easily pass for someone who's never stepped foot in a gym. That does not normally happen when you take a year off training. Like you're right, he is a slender guy compared to the other Chinese athletes. Like he's not as jacked as Shi Ziyong, he's not as jacked as Chen Lijun, but some meme page posted a side by side. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it's our boys over at was it Heels Over Toes? Um, he might be the one who posted that. I'm going to take a look. But when you see him at the Asian Championships last year, he was jacked.
Yeah.
He was like his chest and his shoulders and his back were massive. Like it was about the most jacked he's ever looked. And then
This
it sort of cuts to him now. It is striking.
this is something interesting, and I'm not saying anything about Lou, but in reference to a lot of like people will look at athletes and be like, oh, so and so gets popped at the, like whatever 80 kilo class or something. And people look at it like, well, these guys are only 80 kilos, right? If they were on drugs, they'd be like
Yeah.
90, 95, whatever. They'd be so much bigger. But the reality is like a lot of the people that get caught like back, out of the Olympic, like all the retests, like
Yeah.
like those guys they're small people. They're much smaller than they appear, and so like you get someone who's a naturally like a in the low 70 kilo body weight on drugs, they
Hmm.
would be in the high 80s. Like that's 15 kilograms of muscle. And
Yeah.
so like, yeah, and I'm not saying anything about Lou. I'm just saying like in general, it's like, I think we sometimes have this perception that like, you see like a guy like Carlos Nassar, like he might be a smaller person in general and like has built his body up. And
Hmm.
like he's the pinnacle of having gained a bunch of muscle mass and size. And so it looks like, oh wow, this guy is like really jacked and really big, but like, yeah, I mean, he normally would probably be much smaller than that outside of training, right?
Yeah.
With no training, he would have shrunk down quite a bit. So,
Yeah. I mean, in fact, there is a picture of Carlos that he posted today. I don't know if you saw it. He was advertising like a
yeah.
post-workout drink, and he's like, "This is how I did it," and it's like just crazy how jacked he is and how ridiculous that is as well.
One of
But
those like super low
um,
effort ads, like, hey guys, I really love drinking this, sports drink. It's giving me all the hydration and recovery I need, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. The,
exactly. Okay, I think I found the post. I've been through all the meme accounts.
what is it?
Coach Wu's PVC pipe, which is just so funny. The name of these
The
things,
hyper specific niche meme account. That's a
so niche. 733 followers. The sixth post is a picture of Lou from the front. Look at the dude's shoulders and traps and chest, and then you swipe, and it's like,
yeah.
where did it go? I think, and his quads are down. I think the thing that I find the most surprising almost maybe is his loss of strength.
Yeah.
Like if you go onto the Lu Xiaojun, I'm actually surprised that Lu Xiaojun Barbell is even posting this, because I think it's about the worst look for Lu that you could go for right now, because so many people are posting talking about, oh, Lu's just on drugs, which people have been saying for a long time, but like particularly now. And if you go on his most recent post, he's deadlifting 170, and there is zero chance that he could clean that. Like, not even close. Have you got it up? Are you able to see? I can show you it on here if you want.
No, I can.
Look at this. Look at that. It's incredibly slow and grindy as he pulls off the floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like he's snatched more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously like detrained. He hasn't done anything for a year. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 months he could be snatching 150.
150. Yeah, he will, because he's going to be at Worlds.
He's just super detrained and out of shape. He's lost a bunch of weight, but like those numbers will come back.
They'll come back fine, but there's no world in which any of us, and I know he's more trained than any of us will ever be, but there's no world in which you take a year off and struggle to deadlift a snatch.
Yeah.
As whatever that Fives guy said, your snatch is only 50% of your deadlift. So, what's his name? Oh, Ripper Toe. Yeah.
Wrinkle toe.
So
I mean,
crinkle toes.
Kind of reminds me of Ilya's time off. I feel like the same thing would always happen to him when he would take his breaks.
Yeah, when we saw him in 2013, he hadn't trained for over a year, and he looked sort of the same, right? He was a little bit like, he's like some kind of soft, like, disco boy, boy, and then he snatched 140, and then within a year he went from being like this tiny little 80-kilo dude to a 105-kilo monster that was clean and jerking all records. Yeah.
And didn't he say to you when something like Klokov's like snatch 190, and he said, "Oh, I'll snatch this," by Worlds in like 5 months.
Yep, and he did.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't think he's going to actually outlift Shiziong. I think he's, but he might be able to sort of medal at Worlds or something like that. But yeah, he'll snatch 160. He'll clean and jerk 190 probably at 73.
At 73.
But you just wouldn't believe it if you saw him now.
He's going down 73.
Yeah, he's going 73. Yeah, because it's like, I think for Lu, it's like, if I'm going to train, it's to go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go. He's not going to go to 89 and beat Carlos Nazar or Tian Tao. So he's got to go 73 and try his hand at Shiziong. Okay. And if we're lucky, we might see him push Shiziong to actually try.
Yeah.
So, which would be kind of nice. Knowing he has this training history that's like incredibly extensive, and he's gotten up to 81, how do you stay at 73 when you start coming back? Right, muscle's just going to pack itself on, basically.
It was just calories. So you just can't use. I mean, you can't violate the laws of thermodynamics. So, like, if he just doesn't eat more calories, he won't gain any more weight, right?
Yeah.
His training will be limited.
Well, I mean,
because you just can't. I mean, you can't recover, so you're going to be stuck, right? It's like if he doesn't eat more calories, he won't recover, and then he'll be in a point where he just can't. He can't gain any bigger. He can't eat more calories, so he can't recover anymore. So he's just kind of whatever he's got at that point.
Yeah, and 77 was always his preferred weight category. And then Squat Jug journalist Yelin posted the other day saying that when Lu was an 81, he would weigh like 80, and he could never get over 81. He just couldn't do it. So 73, like, it's not going to be easy. He's weighing 74 there. So he's got to substitute all the fat that is excess for muscle mass. But even then, it's like he's going to be a very tall 73.
Right.
Because he's taller than Tian Tao, I'm pretty sure, when they stand side by side. And Tian Tao was 96.
Yeah.
Like, it just shows the difference in, like, Lu's frame. He's a narrow guy compared to, like, a Li Dayin or a Tian Tao. They're so wide.
Yeah. I stood next to him. He's tall. I'm 6'2", and he was...
Right, 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, around there.
Yeah.
Famously.
I don't like to round too much, but, And anyways, he's maybe an inch shorter than me, maybe almost the same height.
Yeah.
So at 73, that's pretty tall.
Yeah.